he's on patrol duty right now, so he gets out of the cabin, but not before Rem screams at him to get some hot stones. Encrid is also surprised by how the season changed. At first it got a little chilly, but now it's fully winter. He goes to a populated area, where he meets with the other guards to patrol, a thing they do because of the lack of fighting. The two introduce themselves from left to right. They are Jack and Bo. Today they will be working as a team. Encrid feels something peculiar about these people, like he has heard their names before, but he lets it go for now. Jack feels honored to be on duty with the Spellbreaker, and Bo heard that he got promoted really quickly. To be able to go from the lowest to one of the higher ranks is amazing, but Encrid says that he only got lucky. Jack wants to see how strong he actually is, so he invites him to a duel, which Encrid accepts. After a while of walking, Jack feels that someone cursed him to have to go on patrol in this weather, with Bo agreeing that it's pretty cold, but Encrid does not get why they are so close to him. As they continue their walk through the market, a small hooded figure appears out of the shadows, and suddenly slips towards Encrid. He tries to grab the person, thinking that they are just a kid, but the hooded man suddenly pulls a dagger and stabs it directly in Encrid's chest before he can ever react. Jack and Bo play it out like he's drunk or something, hiding him from the crowd directly. These three are working together. The hooded person asks if he's surprised, but he should know, the Greyhounds never forget a target. Encrid can see that this is a half-fairy, probably an assassin sent by Aspen for breaking the spell. The assassin pulls out his knife brutally, leaving him to die, and Jack tells Rotten to get out of here, as their mission is a success. Encrid remembers them now. They were the wounded recon soldiers, according to Crace. He said that they were hurt a lot, but now he can see that it was an excuse to make contact with Aspen. In this situation, he's 4 against 1, and he will conquer it. Now though, he falls to the ground, bleeding out from his wound and dying on the spot. He wakes up once again, violently getting out of bed, which confuses Rem, but Encrid only wanted to get up with more energy. He swiftly goes outside, where he finds Auden bathing himself in cold water, causing steam to come out of his toned body. Encrid asks about his training method to heat up the body, which Auden confirms exists. It's something essential in wintertime. It also allows a person to be ready for anything, which is a bonus. With this in mind, Encrid asks to be taught it, as he saw Rotten pull the dagger out, but he could not react, because his body was not prepared at all. He also should have noticed how Jack and Bo kept really close. He will probably take those two guys out first, but that half-fairy might do something unexpected. Auden cheers him on. His muscles will be really sad if he can't keep this position. Jack and Bo introduce themselves, Encrid going through the same introduction, but now Jack is more impressed that he doesn't have his coat on, which Encrid excuses by simply saying that he's training. His body is now prepared thanks to Auden's rigorous training. He knows that soon he will come face to face with Rotten, so before he can get too close, he attempts to smack the ones behind him, but Bo dodges, allowing him time to unsheath his sword. Encrid knows that Rotten will either run or attack. Before anything happens, he has to take care of these two. Unfortunately for him, Rotten has another card up his sleeve, as he throws a knife in his direction, hitting Encrid in his vitals. He, however, is impressed to be able to hit him at this distance, and through so much crowd, he has skills. He cannot deny that. Encrid heard it, but it already pierced his heart by the time he heard it. It's designed to be faster than sound. In this situation, he must face close and ranged enemies all at once, which quite excites him. How will he prepare for this? Rotten stabs when he is close, and throws the daggers when he is far. This wall that he must conquer is not really a hard one to understand. It's actually quite simple. Encrid continues his training, although he feels like he's going to die, making Ragna and Rem wonder if it's really as hard as he says it is. Jackson comes into the cabin, only to see all of them spread out and stretching, even the panther. He feels like he walked into something he shouldn't have, so he decides to leave. Encrid knows that he has to find a way to block the dagger that will be thrown at him. Its speed and accuracy, however, is something much deadlier than normal daggers. Jackson comes around and recognizes this as a whistling dagger, but Encrid is curious. Why is it called that? Jackson explains that it makes a sound when it's thrown, and if handled by an expert, the target will not even know what hit them, so it's good to stay far away from these things. Encrid has gained a bit of knowledge from this, but no matter how good Rotten is with his daggers, he cannot do anything if he blocks ahead of time. He attacks the ones behind him again, Bo dodging again, but this time Encrid grabs him and uses his body as a shield against the daggers. Unfortunately, Rotten doesn't seem to care about his teammates, as he throws one dagger into Encrid, one into Bo, and another straight into Jack's neck. Encrid is amazed that he was able to throw 3 at a time, but to kill his own people. Perhaps he never thought of them as such in the first place. Rotten crouches down to his level, impressed by his determination, but persistent lovers like the Greyhounds never forget their target. Encrid says that thankfully they do not, which makes Rotten believe that he's a crazy bastard. Encrid has underestimated this whole thing. Even if simple, this wall is still a wall after all. The boatman knows that he is enjoying this, but he should laugh while he still can, as soon he will realize why this is all a curse. Encrid wakes up and swiftly gets out of bed again, thinking that this is actually a blessing in disguise. He goes to Jackson and asks about the whistle dagger, who wonders where this question even came from, but Encrid wants an explanation of them. Jackson relents and tells him that it's basically multiple thin blades pressed into one, which causes that whistle sound when it flies. At one point, it was called the dagger that can only be heard, as it's really difficult to follow with the human eye. Encrid asks what would happen if he wanted to dodge it, but Jackson says that he can't. Encrid asks what if he had to, which makes Jackson ask in turn, does he really have to? Encrid confirms as much, making Jackson ponder where the hell he even heard about all this. He explains that there's not really a point in seeing an already thrown dagger. He has to watch the hand of the thrower first, as the path it takes is dictated at the moment it's thrown. There are naturally ways to hide that throw, but a skilled eye can still spot them. Encrid asks if he could learn something like that, but with his current skills, Jackson notes that he won't really be able to do anything. Encrid knows that he's just talking shit about him, but Jackson asks if he wants to be taught how to throw daggers. If he's not confident though, he can forget about it. Encrid knows that this is an opportunity, so he decides to learn. Later he meets up with Jack and Bo, remembering what Jackson said to him. The moment he throws, he should relax his entire body and focus as the blade leaves his hand. Seeing and dodging it is basically the same. As soon as Rotten shows up, Encrid unsheathes his sword and instantly kills Jack, with Bo not offering much resistance either. Everyone around him runs away in a panic, allowing Encrid to focus on his real opponent. He can see him switch from relaxed to focused. He can avoid dying instantly if he protects his heart, so that's what he does. Encrid does manage to block the first dagger using his hand, but the second one goes directly in his chest. They are incredibly fast, and even if it was only for a split second, he saw it. In that split second, he saw the dagger come to him. Rotten approaches and prepares to say the same line, but Encrid already knows. Persistent lovers never forget their target. As Rotten wonders how he knows, Encrid is glad that he's getting better. A few more visits from this guy, and he will know all of his dirty little tricks. On the next day, Encrid eliminates the two behind him as quickly as possible, and then focuses solely on Rotten and how he rotates his dagger. He can see its trajectory now, so he blocks it with his arm guard. Rotten can feel the anxiety of his advance, and Encrid dodges to the side, thinking that the attack will come from the other direction, but Rotten swiftly changes its course and stabs him in the heart. He is amazed by the fact that he can adjust its course according to the enemy. This weapon, even if it took his life so many times, is absolutely incredible, and he wants to wield it. In his next life, he practices with daggers, Jackson asking what he's even doing, but Encrid only says that he's training with whistle daggers. He knows that what he has is not a real whistle dagger, but he will have one soon enough. A part of his homemade dagger breaks free, almost taking Jackson with it. On the 8th today, Encrid successfully dodges his delayed attack, but unfortunately, it seems that he has another problem. A sharpshooter eliminates him from behind, meaning that he must keep him in mind the next time. On the 9th day, he successfully takes him out with a dagger, but this only delays his death, as Rotten throws a dagger at him that he cannot dodge. Encrid continues to train until he can throw daggers pretty well, but he feels that besides the basics, he's missing something important. Jackson notes that he got everything down, but where did he learn to throw like this? Encrid can't say that he learned from him, so he lies. He saw someone throw one before and he just copied them. Jackson thinks that he must be a genius to do something like that, but no matter. Has he heard of the throwing blade technique? It was created by an assassin called Georg, and the name comes from his weapon, the whistle dagger. Georg strived to create a blade without sound, thus he created a very thin single-bladed knife, but it was too difficult to handle, which led to the production of the whistle dagger they know today. Encrid didn't expect for the dagger to have such a story, but Jackson thought that he would already know about it, since his stance is perfectly suited for the whistle dagger throwing. On the 10th day, Encrid decides to change the route, which Jack is against, as they will be punished if they don't do their jobs well. Encrid says that he's the highest ranked person here, and since he will take responsibility, there's nothing to worry about. He can hear the two whispering about this change of plan, which they really don't like. Encrid knows that the market is the perfect stage for the assassins. He does not need to play along with their games anymore. Jack notes that they should really return, but Encrid asks what they got from betraying their land. A bunch of gold coins? This prompts the two to immediately jump in and attack, but Encrid easily strikes them down with 2 swift strokes of his blade. As soon as he's done with them, Rotten and the blue assassin arrive, which he feels is kind of late, but it's no matter. They should come with all they've got. Rotten throws 4 daggers at the same time, but it doesn't matter now because Encrid can see his hand. The blue assassin moves behind him to strike, but Encrid takes him out with a dagger. Rotten takes this as an opportunity and strikes while his back is still exposed, but Encrid blocks his dagger expertly. Even if it hurts him, it will not kill him again. Rotten is now frightened and asks who the hell he is, but Encrid feels that it's not for him to know. Anyhow, how many of these beautiful weapons does he have on his person? Rotten can see that this bastard can throw these things. Is he also an assassin? He answers Encrid's question, saying that he only has 2. He is quite jealous that he only has 1, but Rotten tells him to not joke around. He's really sick in the head. He should also know that as soon as he throws the one in his hand, he will die. Encrid understands, but they will find out only after the fact. Encrid can't see his hands, but can see his arm, so if he keeps his posture and his eyes ready, he can easily dodge those daggers. Encrid can immediately notice that Rotten is throwing 2 at once, so he swiftly dodges and throws one of his own, which only damages Rotten's cloak. Even if he said that he has 2, Encrid knows that he probably has more, but so does he. Encrid throws his last dagger at Rotten, who can barely dodge, but is actually quite mad that he lied. He readies his blade, and so does Encrid, surprised to see this bastard actually pull a blade out. There's no rule teaching the assassins to only use long-ranged attacks, but his problem is that he doesn't recognize this attack, as it's low and very fast. Unfortunately for Rotten, it doesn't matter anymore. He grabs his hand with extreme swiftness and announces that this is the end. With a chop to the forehead, he ends Rotten's miserable life. He has climbed over this wall with only 10 tries, fighting, losing, and getting stronger to eventually succeed. These things have come to give him alive. He looks at Rotten's body and opens his clothes, revealing a bandolier of knives that he really wants. He goes to report to the ferry commander about what just happened while wearing that same bandolier, saying that all of this was once again just mere coincidence. The ferry commander wonders if it's still a coincidence that he only got off with a scratch against 3 people, but Encrid says that the goddess of luck is really on his side. The ferry commander eyes him for a moment, before giving up and telling him to return to his post. He does just that and returns to his squad lodging, but as soon as he opens the door, an axe flies at his face, which he only has seconds to dodge. This was naturally thrown by Rem, who is glad to see that he dodged his sneak attack. Encrid asks if he has gone insane, but Rem was only training him, because he has assassins on his ass after all. As revenge, he suddenly gives Rem a hot stone and tells him to eat it. Rem believes that it's a potato at first, only for his hands to burn the moment he touches it. Encrid notices that his hair has grown pretty long, so he tells Krace to give him a haircut. He asks for 10 coppers. Encrid says 5, and they meet at 8. As Encrid gets said haircut, he tells Krace that he's charging more now. Does he not get a squad discount? Krace tells him to go to one in the city if he doesn't like the price, but Encrid refuses. The ones in the city suck after all. The snow continues to fall, and Krace notices how cold it is. Rem doesn't like the snow and cold at all, which Ragna agrees with. Auden believes it's a test from God, and Encrid wonders why they are all out here in the first place. He also thinks of how the assassins get into the border guard, and when exactly did they turn. He asks Krace if he knows where Jack, Bo, and Rotten are from, who actually knows. Jack was forced to conscript after he was caught as a pickpocket, and Bo insulted a noble right in his face. Rem can't believe how fine these people were, and Encrid agrees. As for Rotten, he was from a failed merchant association, a mercenary by profession. They all joined in the past year. They must have been in a guild together. Encrid thinks about it. He can only deduce one thing from a guild that left its members a year ago. The Thieves Guild. It's a guild only in name, really, as in reality it's a place filled with thieves. A Thieves Guild member would know the entire city easily, so it makes sense. He asks Jackson if he knows anything about this Thieves Guild, who wonders why he asked him, but Encrid thought he might know. Jackson can't believe that he has become so brazen, but tells him that after the restructure, his contact with the guild has been cut off, so he doesn't know anymore. Kreis is finally done with his haircut. Encrid is only surprised by how much it's snowing, which makes Jackson say that he will be out in the city tonight. Rem knows that he's trying to get out of shoveling duty, which he will not let him do. Encrid sees this and tells them that they should go on a mission. If they agree, they won't have to shovel snow. Everyone immediately agrees, even Kreis, but Encrid still has to get permission from the company commander. Ragna calls him lazy for not even doing that, so they all retreat inside, patiently waiting for him to do it. Encrid tells the ferry commander that he believes the Thieves Guild is behind the assassins, and he wants to bust them while he can. They both look at each other, as the ferry commander feels something strange about this request. Is he sure that he's not doing this to skip snow duty? Encrid denies that fact, although he cannot believe how sharp this woman is. As the squad walks through the city, Kreis wonders where the Thieves Guild thing came from. He's probably talking about the Gilfin Guild, but does he even have any info on them? Encrid does not. That is why they are here to get it. He tells Jackson that they will wait at the inn while he finds out where they are. Jackson asks how he's supposed to do that, but Encrid tells him to figure it out. Chryse really doesn't like that order, as it's extremely vague, but Jackson understands, making Chryse believe that perhaps he is the weird one here. They arrive at an inn, where they all have a bunch of food. Chryse asks Encrid what he will do if the Gilfins are innocent, but Encrid doesn't really care. Even if not involved with those assassins, they are still criminals, and they need to get cleared out sooner rather than later. Chryse has already become acquainted with their server, Leysa, and whispers something in her ear. Encrid does not pay it much mind, but wonders where Jackson is, as he's late. Even though he has skills, he's starting with no real clues. He wonders if his orders were too vague, to the point that he feels bad for him. Jackson is propped up somewhere high, looking around and not moving at all, letting the snow fall on him. He suddenly notices two strange figures, which gives him an idea. Encrid asks Chryse if he knows that woman, and tells him that she's Leysa. Her father is a shoemaker, and her dream is to open up an inn in the big capital. Encrid is surprised by how much he knows, but Chryse only knows so much because she might be a valued customer. Jackson finally comes back, covered in snow and freezing, only to see everyone enjoying a warm meal while in a warm place. Encrid notices his annoyance and tells him to eat, but Jackson believes that they shouldn't wait and go right now. Rem doesn't want to, as it's cold outside, but Jackson asks if he wants a shower in his own blood. He promises it will be the warmest thing right now. Encrid agrees that they should go now, but the snow is quite immobilizing, so they need to be careful and leave when it stops snowing. Encrid looks out the window for a solid 5 seconds, and then says that it won't stop, so they should go. Chryse asks if he didn't just say they will wait, but Encrid has been careful enough. As they walk through the slums, two beggars notice them and pull out their daggers, charging the group with murder in their eyes. Rem immediately turns to them with a smile and smashes one with his axe before smashing the other with his fist. Rem asks Jackson if these are his rat buddies, with Chryse believing that they are from the Gilfin Guild. Jackson discovers the entrance to their hideout, but it seems to be locked. Auden tells him to move a little bit, as he will politely knock for them. He raises his fist up and knocks once, surprised to see that the door magically opened. Rem wonders what kind of knocking this is, but Encrid doesn't care, as long as the door is open. As they go in, Rem asks what he's going to ask them, but Encrid says that they should subdue them first, then they will have time to talk. They continue to approach the door, and those inside know that Encrid is coming. The leader knows that reporting their failure will be a pain, so they should take care of him themselves. One of them wonders if it's okay, as his squad is with him, but before the leader can say that they are a bunch of nobodies, Auden knocks again, but this time with his foot. Rem immediately rushes in to kill them all, but Encrid begins his speech. Those who have never killed the weak, those who can surrender, and those who do not wish to die, should throw down their weapons and cross this line. Everyone else will be killed. Rem asks why they aren't killing them now, but Encrid just wanted to look cool, and he believes that he is. The leader can't believe that a mere grunt dares to order them around, and Auden tells him that they are clouded by their demons. They will not listen until they force them to. Encrid resorts to using force then, and asks their strongest to come forwards. The leader wants this to happen, and tells their strongest swordsman Wyvern to go, who immediately pulls out his blade. He wonders if he can block his blade, as he has never been beaten, but as he talks, he suddenly charges in, only for Encrid to deflect his blade and stab Wyvern in the shoulder. This is something from the Valen mercenary sword technique, to stab while talking. This is what he was stuck at before, but he has overcome it by a lot. Encrid believes that he doesn't need to see anything else if this is their strongest. He will give them one last chance. Either they surrender or die. His squad looks at him unimpressed, all of them believing that he's just trying to act cool. One of them throws his weapon and surrenders, making the leader jump up and try to strike him. Before he can cut him down, however, Encrid throws a knife in his head, killing him instantly. Rem can't believe that he thought he was cool, while Auden does believe so, and Chryse is amazed. Jackson thinks that he's not bad, while Ragna suffers from cringe, like Rem. Encrid knows that he must have looked pretty cool, but this makes all the thieves surrender and fall to their knees. Rem wonders what they should do. It would be better to kill them now, since they might become trouble again. One of them begs them not to kill them. There are people here with sick mothers and poor families. Encrid believes that it doesn't excuse their crimes, so the man says that if he has to kill someone, he should kill him, as he is Gilfin. Encrid is surprised. So he was the boss, and not that brute right there? Gilfin denies it. That man was indeed the boss, but he also isn't Gilfin. He is. Encrid is confused beyond his wits, so Chryse explains that they named the guild after random people on purpose. If they start getting chased by the law, they can ditch that person and run. Gilfin explains that their boss was a bastard, a real rotten to the core individual, but the rest are not like that. Again, if he wishes for blood, he can have his. Everyone around him begins to try and defend him, as Gilfin is kind, and some of them even ask to be killed in his place. Rem can't believe that Enkrid would kill them when they are like this. He did not take him to be such a devil. Enkrid tells him to shut it. He was the one who suggested they kill them in the first place. Gilfin tells them about the guild fortune. They can have everything in that stash if they let them live. Christ begins to smile, as he knows there's some cold, hard coins involved. Gilfin points it to them, but they need to find the key first. Auden proves them otherwise by gently pulling the door open, and so Enkrid tells his squad to take as much as they want. Rem immediately finds some thermal leather, which is extremely warm, but Ragna wonders if it's that important. Enkrid also finds a piece of flexible yet strong leather armor, which is not bad at all for him. Kreis gets his attention and says that they should take over this guild. Enkrid asks if he's really asking for him to become a thief, which Kreis is, but one that does not kill. Even if they were to take down this guild, within like a week or two, another will pop out in its place. So if things are like this, they should use this guy as a puppet to run it. Enkrid feels that this is all far too convenient, so he asks what he told that girl, as it was strange for all these guild members to be gathered here. Kreis is surprised that he noticed, although they got them all in one try. If he allows it, he will get him a monthly krona payment, and will also gather information. Enkrid doesn't really do this for money, but it can't hurt. He allows it. So Kreis tells Gilfin that from now on, their guild is one that does not kill. They will sort out the bad people and send them to prison, while they slowly reform this organization. Gilfin tells him that they will all die if they do not disband. Their boss worked for Aspen and took their money. Once every spring and fall, a frog comes to check on this organization, and if he realizes what happened, he will not just let them go, as the frogs are beasts. Kreis tells him that they shouldn't worry. They have some beasts of their own after all. Enkrid believes that they should go back since they have completed their objective, but Rem looks at him and wonders, are the others done with shoveling snow? Ragna also believes they have some unfinished business, and Auden wants to reflect and preach the word of God just a little bit longer. Jackson also believes that he had something to do, so he will return tomorrow morning. Enkrid understands and apologizes. He did not see that they were all so busy. The next day, Enkrid reports the return of his squad, and also the fact that they have destroyed the Thieves Guild. The ferry commander asks if he had fun skipping shovel duty, but Enkrid hasn't a clue about what she's saying. She has heard that he liked to duel, so they should spar right now. Enkrid accepts, but as soon as he tries to unsheath his sword, he gets knocked down. The ferry commander tells him to get up, but when he tries to pick up his sword, she knocks him down again. Enkrid is amazed by her sword's thinness. It's almost like a whip. This continues until Enkrid is left out of breath, leaving the ferry commander confused. She has seen this man respond instantly, almost like he came from the future, but now, he acts like a grunt. She really does not know who he is, but it is still true that he broke that spell, and took down 4 assassins. She sees that it's snowing again, so she will be watching him, this time more diligently. Enkrid believes that he's pathetic. He has trained so much with the sword, but he has never done anything with his bare hands. He has finally realized what he is lacking, something that requires the use of body and limbs, that thing being martial arts. He goes to Auden while he trains, who tells him that the most important basic of martial arts is a trained physique. Enkrid looks at him as someone demands to know who pulled an entire tree out, but Auden says that he has a method of training that pushes the body to the extreme. It is called the isolation method, which will be very painful, to the point where he might as well be dead. Enkrid tells him that this is his specialty, but after doing it for some time, his whole body feels like it's going to collapse. Auden tells him that the fundamental principle of the isolation technique is overloading. His muscles become stronger as they are being torn. Enkrid can barely stay up, but Auden believes that he can do it for at least 10 seconds. He can see that this is his limit. He also asks if he does not regret starting sooner, as he needs to grow his body for quite some time before he can properly learn martial arts. Enkrid does not have the time to regret. The past is the past, and now he is only thinking in the moment. If he was not, he wouldn't have ever made it past the first wall and probably gone crazy. He asks Auden to teach him something else while he does this, who is amazed by his diligence and work ethic. But that's why he respects him. Since he asked, however, he will return to the post, on all fours today. As he trains, the Panther watches him diligently, seeing the effort that he's putting in. Later that night, Enkrid comes inside completely beat, making Rem wonder if someone is bullying him, but he was only just training. As he lays down, the Panther lays down with him, prompting Rem to say that he needs to give it a name already. Enkrid tries to name the Panther Heather, or Blackie Blue, which the Panther absolutely hates. Rem understands it. Those names should be considered abuse. Enkrid thought that Blackie Blue was cute, but he will have to think of a name since it's going to stay. After falling asleep, Enkrid wakes up in a mystical realm, which makes him think of the ferryman, but this does not seem like his vibe. Suddenly a woman appears behind him and she only tells him one thing. Her name is Esther. Enkrid wakes up from the dream only to have the same woman by his side in bed. She is naturally embarrassed, but Enkrid only wishes her a good night and hugs her tighter. The next day everything is back to normal, and Rem asks if he's going again. Isn't his body feeling sore from yesterday? Enkrid is actually feeling pretty light, but that's because Esther has used her magic on him. She needs this man to free her from her curse. She cannot have him die while he throws around his body. Rem asks if he met with the priest or something, but that's not it. Enkrid says that he dreamt about some woman. Rem is surprised, as he didn't take him as someone who would dream of women. But how was she? Enkrid thinks back and says that she was pretty. Esther is glad that his eyes are working fine. It's common for magicians to explore magic and knowledge, and in her pursuit of those things, she got cursed and turned into a beast, her powers bound. She was wandering the fields one day, but she suddenly felt the scent of a curse, which led her to this guy. Encrid continues his training as Esther watches, but he notices her and accidentally calls her Blackie Blue, which she absolutely hates. The realm of magic is affected by the power of names, so if someone carelessly calls her by another name, her powers will get weaker and weaker. She used what little power she had left to tell him, but she made a mistake. She can only thank God that this guy is pretty dull, but she can see that he's under a curse. It is not set in yet, but it's far more powerful than what she is afflicted with. His is a curse that slowly eats away at weaker curses, so if she sits beside him, she will eventually recover her mystical powers. Encrid continues his training, now fighting Auden one-on-one, and even though he is able to dodge some attacks, most still hit him, proving Auden's blinding speed. He explains that for martial arts, his body must always be ready. Just like with swordsmanship, the training and techniques are all meaningless if he is not fast, and even though he's as fast as an old turtle, his body is changing. He also really doesn't want to quit, judging by his expression. Just like that, 1 month has passed. The green begins to sprout through the melting snow, and Encrid continues his training. He fights with Rem, who can't believe how much he has improved, but he is glad, as now he can finally have a proper fight with him. Later that evening, he invites Ragna to a training session, who says that he's still lacking in adaptability after it's done, but his fundamentals are top tier. His muscle memory should allow him to do this even in his sleep, but it will require endless repetition, which is not at all easy. Encrid tells him not to worry after catching his breath. Repetition is his specialty after all. After his training is done for the day, he retreats to his bed, where he thinks that all this training is great and all, but some real-life experience would also be pretty good. At that moment, he hears a rustle come from the left, so he immediately catches the knife that was coming for his neck. Jackson congratulates him for improving so much. He certainly won't die in an ambush anymore. Christ tells them to go outside if they want to train. They are kicking up all the dust in the cabin. Encrid asks why he's so early. Shouldn't he be out earning money right now? Esther gets out of bed with a purr, and Christ immediately moves in her spot to see if he can find a claw, as that's worth 10,000 krona. Someone suddenly knocks on the door. It's the ferry commander, who asks Encrid to come with her. He immediately says that the snow is gone, but she doesn't care about that. She has a new mission for him. He must take care of it on the mercenary soldier board. Encrid knows about this. It's a policy that runs alongside the soldier ranking system, allowing people in the cities to hire soldiers as mercenaries. It's a lot cheaper than normal mercenaries, and has better trained people who are more polite, so it's pretty popular. He wanted to test himself, so he has no reason not to accept. At the same time, a guard is going back to his bed, glad that he is off today for today. It has been straining on him since he has been doing it non-stop. He suddenly spots the ferry commander, and Encrid, who asks how many squad members he will have to take. She explains that there will be 3 in total, but he should only bring 1 squad member with him because she will be the 3rd. Encrid is surprised that she's actually coming to a mission herself. He wants to know why. The guard walking next to them knows about the rumors. Those two are often together. Perhaps they are even dating. He leans in closer only to hear the ferry commander ask if he's uncomfortable with them doing a mission together. This touches the guard's heart, and more rumors start to spread because of him. These rumors escalate further and further, some saying that they were together even before the army, until the point that it said they already have kids together. The next morning, as Encrid is training, he hears other soldiers talk about his relationship with the ferry commander, most agreeing that they look good together. After he goes back to the bunks, Rem immediately laughs at him, noting that he's finally home. He asks how many months it's been. The baby surely is going to come soon. Encrid, with a rather annoyed face, says that he has heard wrong. These are all baseless rumors. Christ tells him to not be shy as they will find out whether he likes it or not, but Encrid denies it again. Ragna is glad for him. If he keeps her by his side, they can train together, while Auden prays that his future with her is blessed. Encrid feels rather bullied by his own team, and Rem asks when they are going on his little date. It will be weird being the third wheel, but he has to do it. Enkrid is confused at first, but he must be talking about the mission, which he is not bringing him on. Rem is confused. Who else is he bringing then? Jackson confirms that he's ready and says that they should get going, but as they leave, Rem screams out, "How can he choose that rat and not him? Has he gone insane from the training?" Enkrid notes that this is a tactical decision. He would be the first guy to throw an axe at the commissioner if he got mad, so he would rather not have to deal with that. After they are outside, Jackson asks if he brought him only because he wouldn't make so much trouble, so Enkrid tells him that besides that, he takes these kinds of missions often, so he would be of help, right? Jackson understands, but he wants to give him a nice piece of advice. He should not give all his heart to a woman, as it will come back to hurt him in the future. Enkrid looks him dead in the eyes and says that he has no need for advice in that department. After they meet up with the ferry commander, he asks when the commissioner will get here, who says that they will come soon. Enkrid knows that she heard the rumors and that this will be rather awkward. Sure enough, she asks if they have done something for so many people to think that they have children together. Enkrid denies anything while Jackson lets out a snicker, making Enkrid ask if he dares to laugh in this situation. The ferry commander asks if these questions are making him uncomfortable, which he denies. She asks if it makes him glad, which he doesn't know how to respond to, and then she asks what he likes so much about it. Enkrid really would like to know why she is asking him all of this so suddenly, but suddenly the commissioner arrives. The ferry commander is quite annoyed, as this was getting quite fun. Enkrid doesn't know what to think anymore. Was that really a joke when she was basically expressionless? Their mission is to protect the child of a wealthy merchant. In the process of deciding which heir will inherit the Rocafried Trading Company, they have been hired to make sure they don't try anything funny. As she descends the carriage, Enkrid thought they would be dealing with some fat toad, but it's the opposite. The woman introduces herself as Leona, heiress to the Rocafried Company, and their protection target. As they walk, Enkrid finds it weird that not a word has been spoken since the greeting, and what little communication they have only happens through her maid, who is telling them that they will get a room in the inn, and then wait for the other heirs. They really just hired them as guards and nothing else. He remembers what Auden says. Identifying the age, body stance, and gaze of a person is all useful info. Figuring out the enemy's strategy is a skill in itself. Enkrid begins doing just that, spotting that the guard in front of him is left-handed and also has heavy footsteps, meaning that she's pretty armed. Just that sword is telling him that she's strong, but nobody here seems to be as strong as a special rank. Even though he feels like the analysis is lacking, it will have to do for now. Jackson believes that they should partake in a game since they have a ways to go. They should identify sounds. With that invitation, they both begin reciting what they hear first, but Jackson seems to have the upper hand. He is trained in this after all. After they get to the inn, Leona and her guard go into a room upstairs and order them to stay below. The ferry commander sits down next to Jackson and Enkrid to join their little game, but this moves Enkrid out completely, as he cannot hope to compete against these two. However, the things they are saying no longer seem to be a game, as someone is coming to them, dagger in hand and ready to strike. As the assassins pull up, it doesn't take long for them to react, as they both suspected this ambush. The other guards are rightfully scared. One tries to get to Enkrid, but he swiftly takes him out. He hears screams coming from above, and since the commissioner comes first in these types of missions, he rushes to their rescue. An assassin sees this and throws a bunch of knives at him, but Jackson covers his back by holding a stool over him. The ferry commander swiftly sweeps the area of the assassins, who are beginning to show worry, but they are still confident because they outnumber them. As Jackson fights, the ferry commander looks at him and notices he's much stronger than Enkrid. Most of the squad members are, but they still listen to and trust his orders. She wonders who helped create all this. It is honestly quite interesting. She kills the guy that was rushing her by simply holding her sword forward. Enkrid continues his quest, and it's quite easy for him. After encountering the assassin who tried to get Krang, and that half-fairy assassin, such measly attempts at assassination no longer faze him. Another rushes in, a perfect opportunity for Enkrid to test his new physical skills. Although he's still too slow, he can move more freely now. He can feel a difference from the past. Suddenly, Leona's guard is thrown outside of the room, allowing Enkrid to move in and see that an assassin is over Leona, with a maid desperately trying to defend her. Enkrid would like to use the whistle daggers, but he's too close and stopping him is not a guarantee. Perhaps he can reach them if he tried, but to walk so quickly requires power, and he has only seen it once. He tries to perfectly imitate that person. Even if he can replicate that power just a little bit, it would be enough. Sure enough, he lunges forward at top speed, and before the strike lands, he gets in front of them. He is struck by the cold blade, but even if it hurts, thanks to the leather armor he got, he did not get cut. Enkrid believes that they should talk downstairs, so he tackles the assassin and throws him out of the window, landing the assassin straight on his back and knocking the air out of him. Encrid is glad that he managed to cushion the fall somehow, and since there are no more enemies on the second floor, he can focus on this guy. Even if he suffered that fall, he still rose up. That takes grit. He asks Encrid if he's a border